Chapter 3. Does the law of attraction work? When people hear about things like the law of attraction and the metaphysical and spiritual ideas, like what we speak about, they often say, patronizingly, nice philosophy. You can obviously look at it that way if you want. However, on our planet, within our civilization, within our reality, this is far more than a philosophy. To us, it is actual mechanics and physics. When you start to understand that when you change your choices, you can change your reality, you will see that this is far more than a philosophy. Now, you may say, nice philosophy, but how does it relate to our real lives down here? First, understand that these ideas are mainstream within our society. This is how we approach creating reality. We can tell you they are real, they are mechanical, and they are physics. They are far more than a philosophy. It is always your choice whether you want to apply these principles or not. Your purpose here is to explore and find out what is all that is, what is God. In actuality, the question is, who are you? Because you are all that is. The key to figuring this out is to pay attention to what excites you. Excitement can transform your life. From a technical point of view, excitement is your way to tune into and discover more of who you are. Excitement is an energy that you can use to transform your life from one that you may have been living unconsciously with negativity to one that you are living consciously with positivity. Choices change reality. Overall, at this point in time, you are at a somewhat of a crossover point in which you can take the negative things and turn them into positive things. You deserve to exist and have a life in which you can get what you want. When you change your choices, you will find that positive synchronicity replaces negative synchronicity. The things you don't want, if you relabel them, will disappear from your reality. By relabeling, we mean that you are the one deciding that negative things are negative. If you can figure out how to relabel those things as positive, you will change your reality. As we have said, and we will continue to say time and time again, and each time for the first time, you can only experience a reality that you are the vibration of. Many of you have the vibration of being someone that manifests a reality that you don't prefer. Take action. In order to change your life, however, you need to take action. This is very nicely stated as fake it till you make it. That is not being insincere or inauthentic. When you act as if, you are using mechanics to change your vibration. For example, you often believe that life contains a certain amount of things which you don't like and a certain amount that you do. As a result, you act in a certain way. This perpetuates that vibration. This perpetuates your reality. The important thing here is that simply wanting to create a life that you prefer, that is ecstatic, joyful, and everything that you desire, in and of itself is not enough to change your vibration. It's a start, though, and after all, you do have beginnings and endings within your linear time frame. What will physically raise your vibration, however, is physical action, and the tone that physical action takes is determined by your fundamental beliefs. So, in other words, you need to understand what your fundamental beliefs are in order for that action to be effective. Own your reality. This all comes back to the way you view your reality. When you look around you and decide that some things should exist and others should not, you are not acting like an owner. You created all those things. Nothing is extraneous. You are not an extraneous creator, just as all that is not an extraneous creator. If you want to be an owner and effectively change your reality, then you need to act like an owner. To act like an owner, start relabeling the things in your life which you do not prefer as something which obviously must be here for a reason, because you would not create for no reason. When you do that, you in effect assume the attitude of an owner, and that will result in different actions. The attitude of owning your reality is what allows you to take different actions and allows you to transform it. Overall, this is what we are trying to tell you. When you move forward in this way, your vibration, and believe me when I say this if you do, changes. It changes to the vibration of a person who only creates what he prefers, and therefore you cannot attract a reality that you do not prefer. It will disappear from your life. There will be nothing left to relabel. Choose the most exciting option. Here is how you can prove this to yourselves. If you decide that you will do 60% what excites you, you will have a 60% preferential life. You will still have the other 40% in there. That's how it works. The degree of your trust results in the degree of the change in your action, and that results in the degree of change in your reality. In other words, at any given time, all you need to do to totally change your reality to one of ecstatic joy is to look at what choices you have immediately in front of you and choose the one that is most exciting. That is your arrow, that is your barometer. It is effortless. Something that we say over and over again is that it is that simple. It is effortless. All that you have to do is to decide right now, because that is the only time there is after all, that you will only do that which excites you from the choices you have. And do you know what happens when you do that? You start having a good time right now. That changes your vibration. That does not allow the things you do not prefer to exist within your reality. This is how we live our lives all the time. You can choose. The fact that you can understand this and that we can communicate with you is your proof that it is within your grasp, your reach, your realm, your plane, and your density. That is why we are able to co-create and share with you in this manner. And besides, it's a lot of fun. You exist on many levels. As a multidimensional being, you exist on many more levels than the you in this physical reality. While we enjoy interacting with you on this level, we also enjoy interacting with you on any level that we can interact with you. After all, you exist on all levels simultaneously right now. From your physical perspective and your fine focus here, you may not be consciously aware of this. Nevertheless, it is true. We exist on a level that we call fourth density. This means that while we are physical beings, we also embrace our non-physical side as well. Your society is actually becoming more aware of its fourth density existence as well. This is the transformation that your society is going through right now. You are still an individual, you are still physical, but you can understand that there are simultaneous existences. You are more willing to accept that idea and therefore to have access to them. The point is that on some level, you chose to be here in this physical reality. On some level, you made the choice to be focused in this way. Reassume that responsibility and stop denying your reality. That is key. You can choose to deny this. Now you can say, as many do, this stuff doesn't work. There are plenty of things in my life that I don't like, and I did not put them there. When you do that, you are not acting like an owner. Instead, you are choosing to perpetuate separation. Separation is the idea that you exist within a reality and that things within your reality are separate from you and not controlled by you. You are failing to see that you created it all and that it is all you. When you see yourself as being detached and separate, you miss out on the opportunity to grow and you miss out on the ability to take back your power. You are a victim and you will only continue to lead a life that you don't like. Transformation. As humans, you are masters of limitation. You love seeing how you don't have power. In fact, you have mastered that idea. You have played it out in every way, shape, and form you can within this reality. You are always welcome to do whatever you want. However, at this point, you have done it all. Why not consider transformation? What we are presenting is something that works very well for us in our society. The truth is that even before we clicked into these ideas and experienced our transformation, we were a bit more innately piped in than you. We inherently, from the start, on a higher consciousness level, chose less limitation than you. However, the fact that you can perceive us and understand what we are saying shows that you are ready. Validation. One of the things that comes up a lot in your society, especially in social media, is the need for validation. You want to be validated. You want to be heard. You want to be noticed. You want to be liked. Validation, however, is a two-sided coin. To understand this, you first have to understand what the universal truth is. The universal truth is composed of all truths. If you leave one out, it is not the universal truth. Different people can believe things as true that seem contradictory. This does not make them less true for the people believing them. The key to validation is to understand that those truths are true for others, regardless if they are true for you. When you can accept that they are true for others without invalidating them, you are validating yourself. By validating the truths of others, you are saying that your truth is so powerful that you can allow other truths within it. You don't need someone else to agree with you for your truth to be valid. Their truth is valid, just not what you prefer. The more you validate the truths of others, the more you validate yourself. We see that you want to be validated. You are, however, approaching it somewhat backwards. Others are an extension of you. Once you validate others, you will receive external validation because your validation of others is all one thing. Allow the universe, which is also you, to validate you back. This is somewhat of a game of perspective. One way to feel validated and feel the things you believe have validation is to validate. Your validation affects the universe. As both individuals and as society, your vibrations are rising. We see it. When you validate, your validation ripples out into your world to be felt by all on some level, whether they realize it or not. You do make a difference to each and every person in your reality. One way to think about this is like dropping a stone into a pond. Initially, there is a small ripple around where the stone hit the water. This ripple expands in a widening circle and growing until eventually it reaches the furthest edges of the pond. They expand, they amplify, and they grow. This is a very good analogy for the impact that a change in your vibration will make not only to you, not only to your planet, but to the entire universe. We think that's really exciting. We are excited by it. We like to feel your ripples. Please keep tossing your stones into the pond. We enjoy them greatly. By the time they reach us, colloquially speaking, they are quite big, quite strong, and quite exciting. We enjoy experiencing this reality with you, and it is exciting all the time. Within this reality, we only experience the positive. What you consider to be negativity doesn't touch us. We say this to remind you that it's possible to have a life that is only positive. We are proof. However, you do not have to believe that you deserve it. From our perspective, whether or not you do perceive that you deserve this, you do. What is fascinating is that all that is so unconditionally loving and accepting of you that if you feel you do not deserve to have a great life, it will allow you to have a miserable life. I know this may sound strange, but that is unconditional love, the ability to allow any manifestation. You are loved regardless of the condition of loving yourself. Anything you create is a perfect manifestation. If you want to create perfect misery, you get perfect misery. It can be simple. Everything that we are saying often comes down to the idea that creating a life that you love can be simple. It's your choice. We are providing a simple alternative. What is odd is that sometimes the fact that it is simple is too hard for you to accept. Simplicity itself is a barrier, and you want to insist that it must be hard or difficult. Okay, you can have it that way if you want, but if you want to accept that it can be simple, it can be. Now, we are not saying the universe is not complex. It definitely can be, and you can make things very complex. However, that's a choice. Another choice is that things can be simple. The details. The next thing we want to talk about is the details. We notice that when you are trying to figure out how to get what you want, you and your society put a lot of emphasis on trying to figure out the details. You know what you want, and then you put all these rules and details in place as to how it must happen. You decide, it must occur in this particular way or I will not believe it is happening. All right, you can have it that way if you want, but it does not have to be that way. It doesn't have to be difficult, and you don't need to figure out how. It can be effortless. The path of least resistance. Trying to figure things out and focusing on the details can really slow you down. This is because you do not have the ability analytically to take into consideration all of the parameters. Your physical body is simply not capable of figuring it all out. In most cases, the path you think it will or should take is way off. It's not even close. You spend a lot of time going in the wrong direction. Everything occurs most easily along the path of least resistance. This is the path everything takes. In fact, it's almost a sub-law of your particular reality. However, we use the word law loosely. Excitement is the least resistance. We have been applying these principles for a long time and throughout our society, so we have a lot of experience. Our suggestion is first to be clear about what you want in a vague fashion. All you need to do is be aware of it. Then, in any situation and in any moment in time, simply pay attention to what excites you and that you can do something about, and then do it. Excitement is your path of least resistance. As a bonus, you then get to have a lot of fun while the details take care of themselves. Details can hold you back. Trying to figure out the details or paying attention to the details can really hold you back because then you fail to see what's in front of you. Of course, it can happen the way you think it is supposed to happen, but generally it takes a long time. One thing that we notice is that sometimes you are so anxious to get what you want that you go about it in a paradoxical manner. Rather than be excited now, you decide that you cannot be excited until you have the thing you want, and you put yourself on an uncomfortable path. We say this to perhaps give you another way of looking at it. It's easy. It doesn't take much. Remember, a minuscule, very small change in your perspective, very small, makes a great sweeping change within your reality. This is true in both what you have labeled your future, which is actually being created from the present, and your past, which is also being created from the present. A small change makes a grand sweeping change. It is that easy. 100% guarantee of success. That's it. To sum all this up, validate, accept, be clear with your intention, and let the details take care of themselves. If you do that, I assure you, in fact, I guarantee you 100%. And how often do you get that kind of a guarantee on your planet? However, you are the only one who can prove it. You are the only one who can put it into action and can begin to have a good time. That is, if you want to have a good time. You can let go of your limitations. We will say this again because it is something that really fascinates us about humans. You are insistent on holding on to your limitations and your separations, while at the same time claiming to wish to transcend them. You say you want to be free, but you act like you're not. This is a paradox to us. At the same time, we do understand, because it comes from your perspective, which is that the past results in the present. You can choose to let go of this idea by saying that the present is not a result of the past. You, in a very real sense, can cut off the shackles you complain about. The keys. Okay, that's it. We have given you the keys. It's up to you if you want to drive the car. It's your choice. We suggest you take a little ride around the block. See how the view is. See how comfortable the ride is. Ultimately, though, enjoy yourself. Say hello to your neighbors and have a good time.